Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Obviously today we're going to be talking about Liu Kang and Ferra. But before we get into the video, you guys have been amazing with your support. And please drop a like on the video if you like the content, if you learn something new. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and spreading my content to new people. And as usual, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, leave it in the comments down below. I'm guaranteed to answer you within the 24 hours. And also, if you learn something new, please sub to the channel. It costs you guys nothing, helps me out a lot, and we're on the road to 500 subs. And yeah, basically thank you in advance. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyhow, let's get into Ferra. So what does Ferra give you in the base kit? You can see that she actually gives you 150 health extra, and this is because of a move called Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain is used to circumvent the whole 150 health because you take 50 damage every time you use Pain and Gain for the damage buff. That's the reason you have more health than every other cameo in the game. Just wanted to put that out there. Ferra, you're going to see, comes with 1, 2 moves, basically. There's a third, which we'll talk about. But it's basically 2 moves. The first of these moves is Down Kameo. Down Kameo is a move called Lackey Variation. As you can see, she comes out, it costs no cameo meter, and it slowly depletes until it reaches nothing. You guys are going to see that. So it totally finishes, and then she redoes it. Now, for example, this move, if done right, so let's say we go to halfway. Let's say we want to use this move because it costs no cameo meter per se. Let's say I want to use it right about here, right? At the quarter mark. You're going to see that she doesn't come out. She's not going to come out until you have half of your cameo meter filled back up. And if you want to cancel this move, all you got to do is hit Down Kameo again and she will go away. Now that we know how the move works, what does this move do? And I'm glad you guys asked that, because you guys are going to see that this move is an ambush move. It comes out whenever you want, which means while you're doing a combo you can call this move out. But why would you do that? That's because this move builds you super meter more than you usually would. So let's just do a simple combo and see how much super meter we gain. You can see we got almost like about a quarter of the first bar. What if I hit confirmed into the Lackey Variation? You can see it's actually almost halfway. And by the way, when you cancel on the Lackey Variation, you can do it at any time. There's also an ambush, which means just before you end combos, you can get her to get out of the way so she doesn't have the chance of getting hit. So this move sounds pretty good, right? It's hit confirmable, you do all that sort of thing. If you spend like more time doing the combo, obviously you get more super meter depending on the amount of hits you get and all that sort of thing. Are there any downsides to this move? Yes, there are. If you have Ferra out and say Takeda hits me during this time, I will start losing super meter. Now, I won't lose all of it instantly. It will be by basically a, you know, he hits me, I lose a little bit. He hits me more, I lose a little bit. Just how you would build super meter is how he would deplete your super meter, right? Just to get that out of the way. Another thing I want to mention is I said that the Down Kameo Lackey Variation has a cancel. This cancel approximately uses 20% of your cameo meter gauge. So if you plan on using this during a combo, and the combo is pretty lengthy, right? And it goes to about halfway, and you cancel it, you're not going to have a Kameo for a little bit, right? Compared to, like, you're going to see it's a few seconds, then you get her back. Where if you did it, you know, right towards the end, let's say it's like a really long combo, you spend like 3 bars and you're getting like basically a bar and a half back, and you cancel, obviously the meter will go completely to 0. If you do this at the very end, let's say you get to about, you know, only 10% left, you can see she stays out and you cancel it, she will go away and it totally depletes it. So once you're at that point, you're just saving her from getting hit. Another thing about this move, which will lead into the next move, is down Kameo, the Lackey Variation, can be cancelled into up Kameo. Right here. So you're going to see she jumps on your back, and then you get the move which is called Torr Stance. You know, throwback to MKX. So that's also something you can do. So after you finish the combo, for example, right, she's been out and she's been there for a while. If you end your super meter and now you want her to hop on your back, and we'll get into exactly why you'd want that in the first place in a minute. So the second move you get with this is Torr Stance. Right, it's just simply hitting the Kameo button. If you want to cancel this move, all you got to do is hit the Kameo button again and she'll get off your back. When you are using Torr Stance, it is very important to note that your entire move list is disabled. You cannot do any of Liu Kang's strings like I'm doing now, right? You can't do any of these. You cannot do any of them. I'm going to show you guys. She hops on my back. I hit 1, she does a different move. I hit 2, she does a different move. 3 and 4, vice versa, right? So your entire move list is changed to what only Torr can do, to what only Ferra can do in the Torr Stance. My bad. So what else does she give besides a few attacks, which we'll get into in a second? She also gives you an increased backdash and an increased forward dash. You can see if I go full screen without wave dashing, it's going to take me 1, 2, and then just a little bit of 2, right? Whereas if I had Ferra on my back, it'd be 1, 2, I'm literally already there. By the end, it's like 1.8, you know, dashes type thing. So that also makes a little bit of a difference. Also, when Torr is on your back, jumping up, jumping back, jumping forward, you can see all of your jumps are pretty small. Jumping forward is, you still jump forward a lot, it's just you don't jump as high. But if you're to jump up or jump backwards, you do not go very far at all. Let's get into the moves that you get with this. So first of all, you get Kameo 1. Kameo 1 you're going to see is a mid and is +3 on block, but it also starts up in 22 frames. Remember, when you use a Torr Stance move, you have to equate on block the amount of frames it takes for her to jump on your back, then use the move. They can't be cancelled instantly, like I'm pressing the button straight away. It doesn't work. You have to equate for the amount of time that she has to jump on your back, then do the move, right? So there's a bit of a delay. So first K1 or Kameo 1, you have a mid, +3. Then you have Kameo 3. Kameo 3 is a low and is -5 on block. We'll get into it, how it changes in a minute. And then you also get Kameo 2, which is an overhead and is only -2. And then you get Kameo 4, which I'm going to have to go back for a bit. And you're going to see that's hella plus, is basically like a projectile. Basically when Torr used to throw Ferra in MKX. Now, as you can see, all of these moves are safe when done on block, if not plus, right? So they all have something of use. Thing is, all of these move properties are changed if your opponent flawless blocks, right? So let's put computer on flawless and let's do Kameo 1. Kameo 1 from +3 becomes -7, which is punishable by 3 characters in the entire game, currently. So just keep that in mind, but -7 is basically, you know, safe against 90% of the cast. Now, if I do Kameo 2, you're going to see I get -12, fully punishable by every character in the game. And if I do Kameo 3, flawless block, -15, punishable by every character in the game also. What if I do Kameo 4, right? Kameo 4, and it can be done, Kameo 4 can be done at different distances, right? This is a normal one, this is the close one, this is the far one, right? You're going to see that no matter how I do it, it's always still going to be plus because of timing. So, you know, Kameo 4 is the only one not affected by flawless block at all. And you get one more move from Torr Stance, which is a cheeky little throw, which is right here. It is a high throw. You can see it only starts up in 9 frames, so it is pretty darn fast. So if you were to do any string, for example, into Kameo 1, this would be the outcome, right? You can just interrupt. Same with Kameo 2, and same with Kameo 3. There you go. However, this changes if you do the throw. You can clearly see that Takeda gets the punch off. He doesn't actually hit Liu Kang in time, but he gets the punch off in the animation. It says punish, but I get thrown for it. And if obviously you're too slow, you just straight up get hit by the throw. You also have to duck this throw, right? So you have to duck it, or you have to jump it. Right, it's a high throw, it works like a normal throw in the game. But the thing is, it's extremely fast. Another thing about this move though, is that you could probably just do it from this range. Having a throw from this range is pretty crucial, especially if you're in the corner, because that extends Liu Kang's strike throw mix-up. And a bit of a downside is Ferra doesn't give you a throw combo, right? She doesn't give you a throw combo, but she gives you a throw that's like a bit of a mid-distance throw. So you have to keep that in mind also. Torr Stance also gets another move, which is called Pain and Gain. So obviously Torr Stance, and if you do down Kameo, Torr stabs you in the back. And what this does is give you a damage buff. And this can be done twice. And you can see in pretty quick succession. You're going to see, however, it takes forever and it's a whole animation. So you guys are probably saying, oh, what the hell? That's really bad. And you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. This move, with Liu Kang specifically, is pretty bad. Because there's no viable way you can use Pain and Gain and then cancel into a move that makes it viable to use. I have seen it with other characters, for example, Ermac, Quan Chi, there's a few other characters that can, you know, hold up time. Geras, another one, that can make use of the Pain and Gain damage buff, idealistically. but Liu Kang cannot. So let's talk about the nitty-gritty of Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain is, when done singly, is active for 12.5 seconds. If you do a double Pain and Gain in quick succession, it lasts 13 seconds. And if you did it in the longest time possible, which is like just not, you know, viable at all, but if you're interested in that, it does last 18.5 seconds. This move, every time you do Pain and Gain, actually gives you armor, but it's only one hit of armor, which means your opponent can literally react to this and just hit them with your standing one string, which, you know, most characters have a fast cancel input into their 1-2 or 1-1 or 1-4, whatever it is. So this move is extremely unreliable on Liu Kang and very easily armor broken. Let's talk about a little bit of some zoning that Ferra gives Liu Kang. You're going to see that you have two options. It's going to be the low, and it's going to be an overhead, which you have to hold forward to get the full screen version. You can also, you know, use it from mid-screen and, you know, use it up close, like I said before. If you do the low from full screen, you're going to notice that it ends up being plus 15. This isn't a lot of time to get you much, especially against a character with a teleport, right? Because they'll just react to whatever you want to do and then punish you. But if you're in a character that doesn't teleport all that well, you could hit them with an instant air, you could hit them with a fireball, you know, you could do all that sort of thing because you're plus 15 from full screen. In saying that, you also are plus with your overhead, you're plus 16. The same thing applies. They're not going to be jailed into another projectile per se, right? That's just not going to work. But you could try and catch them with a bit more zoning after that with a low or an instant air if you think they're going to jump and all that sort of thing. The usual zoning mind games that you would use. Ferra also gives you a conversion from full screen with the low, and it gives you anywhere from 30% to about 36%, depending on how much meter you spend and all that sort of thing. So I'll show you guys that real quick. Right, it's very simple, you know, to get the conversion. You just dash up and do back 2-3, and you guys know the rest. It's basically a continuation of the back 2-3 combo in the mid screen. Or if you got an anti-air, for instance. It is hard to get the full screen conversion because obviously you're going to see that Ferra, as she gets towards the end, she really slows down, so your opponent has a lot of time to react. But if they do something silly, like, you know, press a button or something, they will get caught for it, and you do get damage out of it. Let's talk about some interesting stuff, which is setups and your mix-ups. I'm sure you guys are well aware that Ferra has setups and she has a mix-up, because the mix-up is she has an overhead starter and she has a low starter. How do you set this up? Very simple. This is one of the easiest character cameos to set up with in the entire game. I'll show you guys that. I'll literally do an optimal, like, no meter combo. I'll put all my meter back on, by the way. I'll do a fully optimal combo, and instead of doing the flying kick at the end, I will literally just cancel into Ferra and do a mix-up. It is literally that simple. Right, and then you just do the overhead. This is a full-on meaty. Your opponent cannot avoid the overhead or the low. It is impossible unless they do one thing. Actually, there's two counters, right? The first counter is they guess right. Alright, they guess the low, they guess the overhead, they get their turn back. The most guaranteed way to get through this setup all the time is the opponent uses their Armoured Wakeup. That is the guaranteed situation to get out of this all the time, because the setup only hits you once, right? It's not a double hitting move, it's only once. And you can do this off like literally every single combo in the corner, right? Let's say I want to spend 1 bar. It all works. Right, I want to do 2 bars. Right, it will always meaty, it will always work, it will always catch your opponent. If your opponent tries to wake up with buttons, like standing 1 or down 1, the setup will get them every single time. Even if you spend 3 bars, this setup will catch them every single time, unless they armor out of it or they just guess right. That is like their only way out of this. You can do another thing, which we were talking about before, with Lackey Variation. Lackey Variation, right? Let's say you open your opponent up, right, when you cancel into Lackey Variation. And now you do the setup from your Lackey Variation. And you just gained extra super meter and you got a low overhead mixed up out of it. And like I said, they can't get out of it unless they armor out of it or they guess right. So, yeah, that is literally how you get to use the Lackey Variation into the Torr Stance and get this set up. Also, I want to say that because of time, right, when you open your opponent up and you cancel into Lackey Variation, the maximum amount of time in a combo that you have is 1 bar. So if you do the 1 bar optimal combo and then cancel into the Torr Stance from Lackey Variation, it's possible to do it. If you spend 2 bars, it's not possible, and I'll show you guys that real quick. Right, so you can see that you have enough time. And you're going to see that I hit up Kameo and Ferra didn't hop on my back to do the Torr Stance, is because you took up too much time in the combo. And like I said, the longest combo you can do in the corner optimally is the 1 bar, and then you get the Ferra mix up of it, which is plenty enough damage, and then you get a mix up of it, which can potentially kill the opponent if you have Fatal Blow. So yeah, there's basically a two touch death combo in the corner. Now we get on to our last move. Now I know I said we only have 2 moves to go through, but we have another move, which is Torr Stance again, but in the air. You're going to see that I jump and then Ferra catches in the air. Now, this is an ambush move, so unlike the Torr Stance, you can do it at any time. So if I want to do, you know, and then like I totally miss it, it's totally possible that I could miss it because I'm not in the air. Torr Stance in the up Kameo version only works if you are in the air yourself. This means you have to be in the air, so Ferra gets onto Torr Stance in the air. What happens from this? You get 2 and you get 1. As you can see, they do the exact same thing, whether you press 2 or 1, it doesn't matter. It's the old school MKX neutral jump punch launcher, right? That's what you get access to in the air, and those are your new moves for the Torr Stance in the air. However, I talked about when the game considers you airborne, Ferra can catch onto you. What do I mean by this? When you are airborne during certain moves, Liu Kang has a few of them. There is back forward 3, back forward 4, which is the one you're going to be using most, and we'll get into that in a second why. What you can do is cancel you can see she literally hops onto your back ready to do a move. And you can cancel into that. And because you're in the air, you can cancel into it. Now, if you are planning to use this move in the air, you're going to see that Ferra actually takes half a Kameo meter just to use the ambush version to jump onto your back, and then she's going to use the rest of the Kameo meter just to execute the neutral jump punch, right? So keep that in mind, it does take a full Kameo meter, and we'll get into why we can circumvent that in a second. But that is the main use, is cancelling things into the Torr Stance. That's like the main reason you're going to use this move. If you are in a situation where the opponent blocks your neutral jump punch, right? What happens? Now I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. You can see I'm -3. And doesn't matter if I do 1, I'm -2 because I'm closer to the ground, right? So completely safe. However, just like all of the other Torr Stance moves, if your opponent decides to be a god, not really a god, but if they read right that you're going to do this, and they flawless block, it becomes fully punishable at -12 every single time, no matter how you do it. So yeah, you are going to be punishable if the opponent flawless blocks you. We're gonna move on to how you use this move as an option to armor Wakeup. Okay, so I have Takeda here to knock me down, very simply, and then he's gonna meet me with his overhead. And I'm going to armor Wakeup, and you guys are going to see that you get a full armored Wakeup launcher with Ferra. Now this does take your entire Kameo meter, so you're not going to get to use her again in the combo. Once again, I'll explain that in a second. But this is your armored Wakeup option. Obviously, if you do it too late, she doesn't catch the opponent. So you have to do it a little bit early. And then you get the full combo off it. I know that I dropped it, but it's the exact same gravity scaling, by the way, as a forward 1-4 combo. So you only get a 3-3 into back 4-3 out of it, not 3-3 into back 4-3. Just keep that in mind. And I'll show you guys what it looks like if you were to do it the most optimal way. So on your armored Wakeup, you're going to notice that you have the chance to make your armored Wakeup safe. Obviously this takes up a full Kameo meter, but you have the option to make it fully safe. There you go, it's 0, right? And you have to do this pretty early. You can't do it super late, otherwise you're going to get fully punished for it. So if I do it now, there's just a gap and he could just anti-air me with a standing 1. So you do have to do it early, like now, and then you just cancel into it. -2. Sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's -2. It all depends on how you do it. That one had a gap in it. That one was too late. Right, so you can make it fully safe. But just like before with the up Kameo Torr Stance, the only guaranteed counter to your safe armored Wakeup is flawless blocking, right? So if the opponent shows me here, yeah, -10, fully punishable, right? You guys are going to notice if you do it too late, you can actually up block during a gap. And then you get the full punish as well. But if you do it super early, there is no gap and the only counterplay is flawless blocking. And the up block won't even come out if you do it properly. So just keep that in mind as well. Okay, so we're almost at the end of the video, and you guys are about to see the combo section. I just want to mention a few things real quick. The gameplay that is being shown in the combos is before Ferra got nerfed. So the damage on screen that you're going to see in the game is going to be higher than what the description I've put in on the actual combo. The combo is the exact same, so if you're getting less damage and it matches the description and not the in-game, don't worry, you're doing the combo just perfectly. It's just Ferra's damage has been nerfed literally the day I was recording, the day after I was recording combos, believe it or not. So yeah, that was a bit of a hassle. So if you're doing a little bit less damage, don't panic. It means Ferra's damage has been nerfed. And if you're still getting less damage after that, it means that you're doing a specific cancel wrong. Now, Ferra, as you can see, can hop onto my back, right? And it takes half a Kameo meter to use all the extensions, right? No matter how I do it, it takes half a Kameo meter. In a combo, what you can do is use this, right? And then you do this, and then you could do this, and then you can cancel into up Kameo and continue the combo. That's the way it works. And the up Kameo in this situation only uses the half Kameo, and because you use the move of up Kameo straight away, it technically takes up no more Kameo meter. Compared to doing it just like this, it takes up the whole thing, right? But if I use the Kameo meter beforehand and then I cancel into it, it still takes up the full Kameo meter, even though I already used half a Kameo meter beforehand. So just keep that in mind. So that's what I was talking about in sort of circumventing some of the Kameo meter usage in combos. Also, if you are getting less damage than my description in the combo section, it means you are not cancelling this at the right time. And this is extremely common. If you do it too early, like this, if you do it too early, you're not going to get enough damage. All of the kicks of the bicycle kick have to land, or the dancing dragon, whatever you want to call it. They all have to land, and then you cancel into it. And you can see I went to 137. Most people will get it incorrect and do the 10-7 instead. You have to get all the kicks to land. And that just comes with timing and a bit of practice. And that's how you get the most damage out of all your combos. And then you guys will realize that actually is the right amount and you're getting less because of the timing issue. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, in terms of should you use Ferra with Liu Kang, it's okay. It is okay. Is it fun? Yes. Is she easy to use? 100%. Like if you're looking for a Kameo that's easy to use and actually does something, play Ferra with Liu Kang. Don't play Serena. Like Serena's not even worth a pick anymore because like other Kameos just do what she does better. Like she has one thing and that like stops you from breaking combos, but Ferra just gives you like, you know, mix-ups on Wakeup and all that sort of thing. And yeah, just remember, like, she doesn't give you things that is vital. Like, she doesn't give you throw combos. She doesn't, you know, do a whole bunch of things. But she does give you some things that are nice, like Armoured Wakeup, safe Armoured Wakeup, you know, against the average person, I'll be honest. And she does give you some decent damage. She doesn't give you the ridiculous damage she used to, which you guys are going to see. She, in the combo section, she did some ridiculous damage before, but they adjusted that and she doesn't do as much now. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown and I hope you guys enjoy the combos. And as usual, if you guys learn something new, please drop a sub on the channel. It helps me so much. And yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping and let you guys enjoy the combos. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See yous.
Be humble.